Welcome back to Let's Play Trilby's Notes. We are in the display room. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chisel. Look at chisel. It was a very old make of chisel, rusted and probably very fragile. As the professor had described, the words "Sea Angel" were carved into the handle. Again, I found myself inexplicably drawn to the artifact. My fingertips were already extending towards it, as if drawn by a magnet. Let's touch the chisel. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Alright. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, AD 1789. This is quite a couple of years, maybe 100 years before the previous vision. So let's go ahead and see what's up. Mbuta had been a great warrior. In battle his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. He had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake it had all been torn away. His mistake was in standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was ruined, his women raped, his children murdered. As for Mbuta, the worst fate of all. Sold to the white man in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. Mbuta was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave, but then came the sickness. A simple fever, no doubt to be gone with the next day, but the white men had took no chances and threw him overboard. For days Mbuta drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. Oh, later, huh? Voices unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. Mbuta was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was so weak, or he was as weak as a newborn, and could not move or speak. At least we were picked up by somebody before we died. Seems like rather nice people here, huh? I like the policy. No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at Mbuta. Still frightened, but somehow reassured, Mbuta passed out. Days passed, and Mbuta's health was restored. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he would carve the finest idol of his life. Let's go ahead and check out the ladder. Go down ladder. Ah, you picky game. Go down ladder. O'Malley Shipping. Look at box. A large crate was sitting in the shaft of light, with letters stenciled on that Mbuta did not recognize. It was cheaply made with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked ready to fall off. Alright, we found our wood. Let's see if we have anybody that has something we can use. Climb ladder. They look bored. Hey, there's some guy here with a hammer. Does he have a chisel? Let's talk to sailor. Mbuta could not understand the white men's language. Any communication would have to be non-verbal. Okay. Point at sailor. Look at sailor. Okay, there were several crewmen tending to the ship scattered around the deck. Despite the language barrier, Mbuta could tell they were friendly and cordial. Point at hammer. Point at chisel. Ah, there we go. The sailor handed Mbuta a sharp, almost brand new worksman chisel. Yeah, I'll bring it back. Don't worry. Alright, so we have something to cut with. And now we just have to go get the wood. Climb ladder. Take wood. The wood of the crate seemed ideal for Mbuta's intentions. He decided to leave it here until he was ready to carve the... Carve idol. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Mbuta could finally create his offering. After several hours, Mbuta was very pleased with the result. A fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. All that remained now was to return the chisel. Oh, hell. What's going on? Not cool. Run. Oh, dude. Oh, man. The vision faded and I felt myself being hurled forcefully back into the present day. That tall, thin creature, that black-clad ghoul, what was its significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout the history to spread death and horror? There was no connection to the idol's shape or Mbuta's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. It must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There had been a name on that crate. Mbuta hadn't been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner have been an ancestor of Siobhan? It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point, my only lead. I resolved to discuss this with Siobhan at the earliest opportunity. We'll go ahead and cut the video here and read the note in the next one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.